Today's video is brought to you by a nice pair of overalls. Do you hate wearing shirts, only have 6 teeth, and sound like there should be a banjo playing behind you when you talk? Look no further than overalls. Use code YEYE to get 10% off your first pair of lightly used overalls today. I know what you're thinking, Lions fans. A problem? We don't have a problem. Our receivers are great. And, well, yeah, but that kind of is the problem. When NFL teams cut down to their 53-man roster, they typically only carry 5 to 7 receivers. The Lions right now have 11 guys that have shown they can have a roster spot. So at minimum, 4 are going to need to go. And that is the problem. Who's the 4? The obvious guys to make the roster are Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, Khalif Raymond, and Isaac TeSlaa. I didn't add Tim Patrick to this, but he's all but certain too. For those that aren't good with numbers, that's already 5. And that leaves only 2 spots for the 6 remaining guys. Dominic Lovett, Tom Kennedy, Ronnie Bell, Jackson Meeks, Jacoby Keeney-James, and Malik Taylor are all fighting for those last 2 spots. So the question is, who makes the cut? From what I've seen, the favorites right now are Lovett and Meeks. The coaches have boasted over both of them, and they're both performing really well in the preseason games, specifically Meeks. In the last 2 games, he's had 10 receptions for 171 yards and 2 touchdowns, and has led the team in receiving yards both weeks. He's also done some work on special teams, which will be a huge factor on making the roster this deep. Both Meeks and Lovett can be a big help on special teams, specifically Lovett, which is why he was drafted in the first place. Not to mention Lovett was actually a draft pick, and Meeks was given a guaranteed deal when he signed. But Tom Kennedy was on the roster last year, although he didn't really do much, and he's actually ahead of both Lovett and Meeks on the Lions depth chart right now. He's another guy that can do a lot on special teams, and that being the key factor for these roster spots, you can't count him out. He hasn't done too much in preseason games with only 3 catches for 22 yards, but he has shown that he can at least be a roster guy. Speaking of roster guys, Ronnie Bell was a guy they brought in from San Francisco that they thought could help the team, that again didn't really do much last year. Bell also played decently in the preseason games, but not to the extent of Lovett and Meeks. He only has a few catches in the 3 games they've played and doesn't really seem to be a priority to get work. Before training camp, I would have told you Jacoby Keeney-James had a great chance of making the cut. Now, he's a guy on the outside looking in. Not only has he not produced much at all in the preseason, he's also had several mistakes, including on special teams, which, for a guy fighting for a spot, is a pretty big fuck-up. He could be a really valuable special teams guy with his speed, but he just hasn't done what he's needed to make the splash for a roster spot. And the last guy is Malik Taylor. And I just don't see him with a chance at all. Sorry, Malik. The final cut for the 53-man roster is August 27th, so every receiver has another week and one more preseason game to show what they could do on this team. But for right now, I think it's going to come down to Lovett, Meeks, and Kennedy. Obviously, this is all entirely speculation, given that anything can happen in these final 2 weeks, whether it be injury, someone going off in a preseason game, one of the guys going 120 miles an hour down the interstate, or even the Lions not taking the typical 7 receivers. With the way they keep adding tight ends, they could take an extra spot, or Detroit could even carry 8 receivers. If it's me, though, I'm keeping Lovett and Meeks and finding a way to try to roster Zach Horton too. But we will find out on August 27th. Let me know what you think happens. This has turned into a pretty big story leading up to the season, and I would love to hear some other opinions. Like and subscribe!